It is Sunday, April 23rd. You're waking up to what's new. I'm Vanessa Van Hefty.
And I'm Robert Santos. Thanks very much for waking up with us. Let's get you ready for your Sunday. And if it's been too hot for you lately, 10 News meteorologist Christine Keogh has some good news.
Yeah, you're going to like this. It's going to be 10 to 20 degrees cooler than yesterday. We are seeing some cloud cover at the coast and in our inland communities, increasing sunshine over to the mountains. And we're seeing a stunning sunrise out there in Borrego Springs, being enhanced by some high, thin clouds. We will get afternoon sunshine, but ahead of that, we could run into some patchy fog. I'll let you know if I see any visibility problems popping up. Right now, it's mild at the coast at 64 degrees, 49 for our inland communities. We're headed up to 71 degrees today for our coastal areas, with sunshine and a breezy afternoon in store. For our inland communities, heating up to just 77. Some of you hit the 90s yesterday, so that's going to be a big improvement. I'll have your full 7-day forecast in 8 minutes.
Okay, Kristen, thank you. New this morning, a celebration turned violent when a huge fight broke out. One man ended up getting slashed across his stomach. Thousands of people were gathered for the 47th annual Chicano Park Day celebration yesterday. Some had no idea what was going on until they heard half a dozen police cars and a police helicopter show up. The fight, involving about 30 people, happened around 7 at night just off Cesar Chavez Parkway in an alley. There's no word on the condition of the man who got stabbed.
New from overnight, a crash here on the 8 injured 6 people and forced a helicopter rescue that happened on the eastbound lanes of Route 79. CHP says a pickup truck and another car collided. 6 people were hurt, 2 were trapped. Once they got the victims out, CHP called for the medical helicopter around 8 p.m. They say some of the injuries are major.
To a developing story now, the San Diego-based USS Carl Vinson is continuing its journey toward the Korean Peninsula. Today, they began joint training exercises with Japanese naval ships in the Philippine Sea. The Navy says the exercise is routine and is designed to improve combined maritime defense. But tensions are still elevated in Korea. There have been some indications that North Korea is preparing to test a long-range missile.
Yeah, that strike threatened against Australia after Vice President Mike Pence met with the country's prime minister. Meanwhile, the USS Nimitz strike group has been gearing up right off of our coast to deploy. 10 News military reporter Hannah Mullins uncovered new video of top brass giving them the okay to ship out.
The USS Nimitz worked its way back to San Diego after an extended deployment in 2013. The fears started to fade and the tears started to dry.
We didn't know anything until that night, if our sailor, if our husband or loved one was safe.
And now grave threats have grown in new areas. The Nimitz Carrier Strike Group has been ripping through live rounds on the Lake Erie and launching missiles off the Kidd. Look familiar? It's the same type of ship that blasted Syria with nearly 60 missiles after a chemical attack that killed dozens of children. Also in Syria, a local ship offloaded Marines to fight ISIS. The training has been expedited for this strike group. Several ships and local squadrons have been working to fine-tune their fighting skills. The first phase followed a series of scheduled exercises. The second simulated real-world high-stress scenarios with immersive virtual technology, so they never knew what was coming. It was meant to mirror threats they may soon face. Leaders say they're ready to go where they're needed now. But this deployment comes at a tumultuous time, so no training may be enough for what's sure to be a heartbreaking goodbye.
Hannah.
Well, the Attorney General Jeff Sessions spoke at the border on Friday about immigration practices. In that speech, Sessions used Escondido as an example of a city that doesn't cooperate with immigration authorities and poses a public safety threat. But the Associated Press did a fact check and found that Sessions spoke incorrectly. For years, the federal government has upheld Escondido as a model for cooperating with immigration authorities. Sessions cited sanctuary jurisdictions as a reason for increasing gang violence. When asked to comment, Escondido's chief of police said there hasn't been an increase.
Happening right now, French voters are casting their ballots in a tense presidential election under heightened security after that deadly attack in Paris last week. Over 60,000 polling stations open today for voters to choose between 11 candidates. Experts are calling this the most unpredictable election in decades. The 2 candidates with the most votes today head to the presidential runoff on May 7th.
Now to a developing story out of UC Berkeley, where some students are threatening to sue the school over free speech rights. The Berkeley College Republicans invited conservative commentator Ann Coulter to speak at the university on April 27th. Berkeley officials canceled the speech last Tuesday, citing security concerns. The university offered an alternative date, but Coulter turned it down. In a letter to the university, lawyers for the college Republicans threatened to sue if Coulter is not allowed to speak on the original scheduled date, which is 4 days from now.
President Trump awarded his first Purple Heart yesterday. The president and first lady visited the Walter Reed National Military Hospital in Maryland to give the honor to Sergeant First Class Alvaro Barrientos. He was wounded in Afghanistan March 17th and lost a leg. President Trump said when he heard the story, he wanted to bestow the honor himself.
Thousands of people came together across the world yesterday for the March for Science, and right here in San Diego, demonstrators from all walks of life came out of the Embarcadero to show their support.
The people united will never be divided.
The march was intended to bring attention to environmental concerns that have been brought up under the new Trump administration. Hundreds of San Diegans marched down Broadway, some who work in science, others who wanted just to spread the message and celebrate Earth Day.
What do you think of all the energy?
I love it, man. That's half the reason to come, is just to feel the humanity and the support.
Thousands more marched in cities across the world, including San Francisco, New York, Rio de Janeiro, and Paris.
Also happening today, the world's largest fair dedicated to Mother Earth returns to Balboa Park. More than 60,000 people are expected to go to the 28th annual Earth Fair. There's 300 exhibits, a parade, food, and new this year, a second beer garden with a honey-based wine. It's made from local bees. If at all possible, you are advised to find another way to get to Earth Fair other than driving.
We have free valet bike parking for people that want to bike all the way in, or that you want to park and bike. That's another option. It's really a great day to try transit.
If you do drive, there will be off-site parking at City College. Earth Fair goes from 10 in the morning till 5 p.m. and it is free.
Happening today, one of the country's top races, known for its amazing course with breathtaking views, and thousands of people will be running it to help children across the county. TED's reporter Joe Little is at the Del Mar Fairgrounds where the race begins. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Robert. It is a much more festive atmosphere down here at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Right here, they're looking to break the record for most 8-ounce cups of water filled in a single day. But you can see people are showing up. Come on, Andy. Andy's going to walk with me here. A bunch of people are showing up here. Clearly, the first thing you do during a half marathon is you get in line for coffee. So all these people are fired up here, getting ready for the race by getting some chocolate blended frappuccinos or something like that. But one thing about the La Jolla Half Marathon, out of 2,200 half marathons in the United States, this one is rated as one of the top 12 must-do races in the world. I'll tell you why. Actually, I'll tell you why, because you're sitting at home, means you're not running in this race. You're going to want to know how to avoid this race. Well, this is how you avoid this race right here. This is the map of the race. You can see it basically hugs the coastline from Del Mar all the way down to La Jolla. So if you're looking to go on a nice little ride today because you're not running and you're like me, you're going to be in your car, you want to avoid the coast for at least the next 3 hours, so about 10:30. Just avoid it at all costs, because this is gonna be insane. But look at this guy over here. We got a little TV dinner here. He's waiting for his spaceship to arrive. I guess that's how you keep warm out here. But they're expecting about 6,000 racers today. 6,000 people in spandex and tank tops and healthiness running through here. I will not be participating. In fact, Andy and I are going to get in the truck and drive to the finish line. All right, so we'll be back in 30 minutes. Hopefully we'll get even crazier out here. All right, reporting live in Del Mar, Joe Little, 10 News.
WeatherRate certified San Diego's most accurate forecast. This is 10 News Pinpoint Weather.
I know, it reminds me of the first time, because you know, the Big Sur Marathon up north, to begin, a lot of people wear the trash bags to stay warm. Yeah. And then they could just tear it off.
I'm laughing about the TV dinner comments.
Yes, so I did that at the mud run here. I was the only one.
Really?
Yes,
I was the only one. You're going to have to teach me your ways, because I'm training for a half marathon right now, and I know pretty much nothing. I just know my ankles hurt, and that's not good.
Don't do it then.
So
don't do it.
I'm going to address that so that eventually I can run in this marathon, because wow, I mean, can you imagine how much easier it is in a place like this when you have this beautiful scenery as compared to where I'm from in Arizona? This is the place to go and run a marathon. It's beautiful in Del Mar right now. We are seeing some low clouds hugging the coastline, but I'm not seeing any visibility problems just yet. Right now it's 58 degrees in La Jolla, so it'll be upper 50s and low 60s for the runners. Relative humidity up at 94%. I want to show you another shot from our 10 News sky cams out in Borrego Springs because I'm seeing such a pretty sunrise out there. It's kind of heavenly with those golden tones in it. So here's the weather story. Today we're going to see temperatures 10 to 20 degrees cooler than Saturday. So I think you're going to like the forecast today. It will be breezy and foggy at times this week, but overall conditions for the next 7 days will be pretty mild for you. And we're starting out mild downtown with just 64 degrees, 58 in Chula Vista, 57 in Escondido. We're up to 49 over in Ramona. Low pressure taking control and ushering in some coastal low clouds for the next few days and also increasing our onshore flow. So that sea breeze is going to pick up to 10 miles per hour to 20 miles per hour across the county today. We're also going to see another trough of low pressure behind this one, so that's why we're going to be seeing that fog, those breezy conditions, and the mild temperatures for this week. 71 is the high at the coast today, even cooler tomorrow with a high of just 67. Then we'll be back in the 70s Tuesday through Saturday for you. We will see increased cloud cover this week. Inland today 77 for you. Tomorrow we drop down to 72, and then we're back in the 80s Wednesday through Saturday. The overnight lows will remain in the mid 50s. For our mountains today, pretty nice out there, 70 degrees with sunny skies. We're going to see the deserts hitting 92 today, but tomorrow they'll be back in the 80s.
Okay, so they never hit the century mark then at all, right?
No, not yet. We'll be keeping a close eye on that, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen in the next 7 days.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. I bet everyone is.
All right, wildfire.